Hey guys, this is Uncle Doug. We're in the van. There's Lawrence, Adrian, Cindy's driving. It's Sunday the, I don't know, 9th? June 10th.
June 10th today.
June 10th. 9th. We are Sunday morning. It's about noon, I guess, or 11. We're headed to the Pride Festival.
We're in prayer for lots of people this morning.
So
Lots of people.
Years ago, I think it was January of 2005, I wrote the open letter of apology to the world. And the Lord showed me that there's a lot of people that have been so hurt by the church that they're mad at Jesus and don't want anything to do with him. And we're not going to be able to reach him until somebody says they're sorry and acknowledges that whatever harm was done to them, it was our doing, not Jesus's. That he didn't want that to happen, that he didn't want them treated that way, and that somebody's sorry. So I try to have copies on me, and whenever as the Lord leads to talk to somebody. And you'd think it was just folks with tattoos and purple hair, but you'd be surprised how many times somebody's burst into tears and there's been healing when the Lord leads me to acknowledge that they've been hurt by the church, and then somebody ought to say they're sorry. And so this weekend is the Kansas City Pride Fest down in the Atheist Park. Frank Atheist Park. He's a Frank atheist. And there's a police officer. Say hi, Sheriff. Anyway.
For our police officers and teachers and firemen and medical.
Yeah.
All of them.
Grateful for all.
Pastors and people.
Any servants and people willing to sacrifice. It's a beautiful thing.
Intercessors at home, everybody.
So we're driving down to the plaza, which is the kind of foo-foo Rodeo Drive part of Kansas City. And right across from the Nelson Atkins Museum and the Museum of Modern Art, which is kind of famous, I guess, I don't know, at least in Kansas City, is this park. And we're going to have to find somewhere to put the truck nearby, or they have shuttles right over there. And I don't think they're going to let us in. We have a sign that says, "I'm so sorry." It's upside down, but that's what it says. There you go. And I don't know what people will think of that. Purposely not wearing big Jesus shirt or anything, so that they're not instantly triggered and have their own thoughts in their head of what we're doing. But we're going to try and videotape. I've got a microphone thing in my pocket to at least capture what I'm saying. I don't know how well it'll capture what the other person says. And I have no idea how it'll go, but I know God said to go. And he picked this time because we had stuff last night. There was a tent revival the other side of town we went to. See what was going on there, see if Jesus would show up. And I packed a whole box of Kleenex because he'll put it on me, man. I start feeling what they felt, and I don't know if he'll give me word of knowledge or how it'll turn out, but the church isn't gonna, homosexuality is one of the curses that lands on a nation when they turn from God. You can go read Judges and Chronicles and whatever. And the idea of Christians holding up signs condemning people who are going through what they're going through because the church is a mess. Doesn't seem right at all. We're not going to condone sinners. We're going to say that we're as big a sinner as anybody else. We participated. I spent years and years going to churches, mega churches, sitting on committees, teaching Sunday school, buying their materials, reading The Purpose-Driven Life, whatever other stuff. The mega church that I spent 20 years at finally planted the back 40 that was going to be parking lot someday where there was grass. They planted about a half an acre and gave away the produce they grew. At the time, we had a pantry and we'd bring trailer loads of our produce that was left over, and we were giving away more than they were giving away at their giveaway. Anyway, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't mean to drag this out, but we're going to do some footage down there, string it all together, and let you guys know what happens. And we'll see. Anybody else?
I'm praying for a bunch of people. I want to say the addicted, but I'm not saying addicted. I'm praying for people this morning that have been warned, and I'm scared for them. I'm praying for them to not let the openings in. We were at an event last night, and the guy talked real openly and candidly not to let a foothold in, and then I'm watching people just choose to go do their own thing, and I'm just scared for people. And I'm so sorry for the addiction. I know that's a curse too. And I'm just I'm just praying for some specific people to not turn back to that. I'm just pleading. It will just bust the door open. I hate to see people get whipped. But I guess we have to. So I'm praying for people that are addicted. Or not addicted, but not going back to it. In Jesus' name.
Anybody else got something you want to say?
I want to say redirect.
Okay. Well, we'll get some more footage. The way the temperature of these things is, it's probably not a good idea to go do this kind of stuff by yourself. So I brought the biggest, meanest, toughest bodyguards I could find. As if. Anyway, more later. God bless y'all. Bye. This is my favorite hill. We're in Liberty. You can see all the way around the city. That's Independence. Over there is the spire of the RLDS temple. And then over here you see all the way to downtown. Big buildings. We just came down off the hill, but that's the Worlds of Fun water tower and amusement park over there, and then we're going that way to downtown, about 10 miles. More later, bye. So here we are at the event. This is Alfred Atheist Park. That's Russell Stover's headquarters right over there. And there's the Brush Creek, is this canal runs along here. You can see over there from the plaza. We're going to go, let's go around the circle it that way, honey.
The entrance is back there.
I know, but we're just going to go around the block. Oh, that's an oncoming line. Okay, so they got traffic all snarly here. So go that way, go that way, go that way. Get in that lane and go around the block. You got a yellow, so they're turning that way too. The scissor in there. Oh, what's the girly? Sorry. So yeah, that's Russell Stover's or something over here. Anyway, we did an event here with all Christians together serving Acts Ministry back in like 2005, 2006. It wasn't as big a shindig as this, but anyway, Now you could take a left here again and go around the block. I don't know where the actual entrance is, but there's not much outside the gate. I might have to just not do the sign and go in and see who we can talk to. This is UMKC right over here. That's where I did my master's degree. Most of the education buildings are a couple blocks over, but this is Rock Hill Road where UMKC is located. University of Missouri, Kansas City. And the plaza, which is a kind of outdoor walking shopping district, is just down there by those tall buildings. They're fancy, expensive condos looking down. They put like 8 million lights on it during Thanksgiving to Christmas. Lot closed. Okay, so they're full. But somewhere in there is the main entrance, I guess. We can go to one of the parking garages on the plaza and just take the shuttle.
There's a spot there, and it's over there.
Well, you can't park in here on the street without a tag that you're a resident. They will totally ticket you because all of these people have. Well, some of these have nowhere to park if they don't have driveways and they park on the street, and you got to have a sticker, I think. Over here's the Nelson Atkins Museum of Modern Art, and the Kansas City Museum of Modern Art, and the Nelson Atkins Old Museum. I'll edit some of this out sitting in front of the light here. We probably ought to go in anyway, pay the fee, and see what's, pray over whatever, and see what's going on, and try to talk to individual people and give out the apology letter until we get thrown out. I thought there might be guys with bullhorns by the gate, but
That would have been the parade, probably.
Kansas City's not a big yell at you kind of a place anyway, but yeah, they probably did the parade yesterday. Yeah, go left, go left, go left. Just don't hit the people. So over here's the Museum of Modern Art. Let me get this out of the way. Evidently they made a tree of silvery stuff, and I'm sorry. This is the Nelson Atkins. Kansas City's famous for these shuttlecocks, the badminton birdies there. That's a famous shot right there. They're working on this big pavilion up there as well. So, what?
Rebellion and joy, those two don't go together.
Yeah. It's a display of some artist at the Nelson. Go straight, honey. Go straight. I don't think we're gonna find anything here. So.
Well, there was one there.
I know there's one behind the black car there.
And up here's the Kansas City Art Institute. Behind another block back, which is a pretty well respected college level. And I don't know if they got graduate degrees or not, but whatever. Look it up. This is Winstead's Burgers. There used to be a bunch of them. I think this is the last one left. There was one in Liberty. Now it's a Mexican restaurant. Right next to that tower is the Cheesecake Factory. And P.F. Chang's is right over here. And Fiorella's Barbecue is one of the best in the countries over there. And you can see those high rises, mostly condos. The hotels down here book out like 3 years in advance for the rooms that look out over the plaza for Thanksgiving, and people come and bring their whole family and sit on the balcony and watch the lights flip on. The mayor and find some kid and they flip a big switch and 8 million lights or something go on from Thanksgiving to after New Year's. And it's pretty. I remember one time as a kid, my dad drove us down here to watch the lights go on, and everybody went, ooh, and then sat in traffic for 4 hours trying to get out of here. With 250,000 people coming down here to see the lights go on, and he swore he'd never do that again. So we always just watch it on TV. Hey, can I talk to you guys for a minute? Just for a second? Well, my name's Doug, and over the years I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I kind of apologize to everybody just in case. And, you know, making amends and all that kind of stuff. And see, my dad was a pastor, and I spent years and years in the church. And then I got to looking around and realizing how much the church has hurt people. And I know that's not what Jesus wanted. So I chucked everything and I started a homeless shelter and a food pantry and trying to care for people, because that seems more loving than yelling at people or throwing them out because their hair's the wrong color or whatever like that. And so I just kind of came today to say I'm sorry to whoever it felt like the Lord was telling me to say I'm sorry to. So I don't know if the church hurt you, Churchianity, the system that we built, but I'm just asking you, I'm just saying I'm sorry for my part in it, and that it was not Jesus's fault. All of the priests touching little boys and all of that was never the way it was supposed to work. And anyway, I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry. I wrote this letter, maybe read it later if you get a chance, and I'm not here to try and talk anybody into anything, but that's my apology letter I wrote almost 20 years ago. It's in a bunch of languages and I've sent it all over the world, but I'm trying to get it to everybody, so now I can cross you off the list.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hi. Hey, could I talk to you for a minute?
What's up?
Well, my name's Doug, and over the years I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I'm kind of apologizing to everybody. My dad was a pastor in a church, and I spent lots of years helping. And then a few years ago, I kind of started looking at the machinery of Christianity and how many people have been hurt by it. And anyway, I wrote a letter, kind of my apology, because it's not what Jesus wanted. And so I kind of chucked that and started a homeless shelter and a food pantry and just trying to take care of people, because that seems more like the heart of Jesus, you know?
Of course. Yes.
I mean, anyway, so I don't know how you might have been hurt by the church, but I want to tell you I'm sorry for my part in it, and to please not be mad at Jesus, because it was not his idea at all. And if there was a guy with a bullhorn with a God hates fag sign, I'd set up right next to him and say I'm sorry for that guy, because that's not the point at all.
No, not
We're
at
all
all.
sinners and we all need help,
Yes.
and one thing ain't worse than the other. And there's plenty of, I grew up in the church with plenty of gossip and backbiting and ugliness and
Yes.
envy
I hear
and
you.
all
Yes.
that other stuff.
I hear you. I grew
And-
up in the Catholic Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Yep, and that is a scary place, definitely, for children especially.
And women.
And women, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Years and years. Yeah, if you know, the Vatican has trillions of dollars of assets
Yes. Yep.
that could
Yep.
feed people, you know,
Yep.
all over.
Yep.
And I've been thrown out of churches all over Kansas City
Congratulations.
for saying things like, "Did God really tell you to get a pipe organ instead of feeding the poor?" You know, that doesn't seem right at all.
Did
You
God
know,
want you to renovate the church instead of giving that money to
Yeah.
people in
or
need?
split
Yeah.
over the color of the carpet or whatever. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
a mess. And
It
and
is.
I've got a bunch of books. I've written books about on my website about
Wonderful.
how things ought to change. And
What is your website?
oh, I'll give you my card
Oh,
here.
I'd love to have it. Thank
Oh, I'll
you.
give you my books. Do you want my books?
Yeah.
We got
Do you
music
have a
and
book on you?
we got about 3,000 videos on YouTube. I got 8 books on there.
You
And
have flash drives. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I-
What a way to do this.
I put them on DVDs and people are like, "Well, I don't even have a DVD player anymore."
Oh, true. No.
You know,
definitely,
and so
yeah.
that's got like videos and music that we wrote.
That's awesome.
We got a whole bunch of what I call truth music. You know the Jim Carrey
Sure.
Liar Liar movie where he's a lawyer
Yeah.
that can't lie?
Yeah.
So I thought, what if you went to church on Sunday and the truth just popped out of your mouth and you're like, Jesus loves the little children, red, yellow, black, and white, but the white one's got all the stuff, you know? Or I surrender some to Jesus. About 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Did you ever have it out at any point?
It's all free on the website. We don't charge for anything.
You know of it?
I think one of my friend's dads growing up played something very similar
Yeah.
to what you're talking
That's
about.
amazing.
Yeah, we've got a song called Doug. I'm Doug Perry. Yeah,
Nice
we
to
got
meet
a song called "Be a Mash." You know, you ever watch the TV show MASH? You're probably too
Yes.
young for that. But it seems to me, if you're having a party and you got a big birthday cake and you're all looking forward to it, and somebody yells "shoppers," you ought to stop what you're doing and go take care of the sick people. So maybe the party should stop until everybody's healed up, and then you can have a party.
Right.
And that's exactly backwards of how the church works, where
Completely.
it seems
Yeah.
like we got to have the party first, and you come
Right.
Wednesday night, somebody will pray for you or whatever. And
Right.
so we just tried to flip that all upside down, and we never tried to build a building. We have a thrift store with a community storehouse, big warehouse, where people can bring stuff, and if your house gets hit by a tornado, just come get whatever you need free. And
That's amazing.
you know, that's the kind of stuff we ought to be doing, I think.
Yes, Doug. Yes.
Anyway, I
Yes.
wrote. This is the letter that I wrote. That's been all over the world. It's in a bunch of different languages, and
you.
our website and our
Thank you so
YouTube is
much.
on there. And I'm not trying to talk anybody out of anything. I'm
No,
just
of
here to say I'm
course.
sorry.
No, thank you.
And because,
Yes.
and I know Jesus is real, and He's changed my life. But people are mad at Him because a priest grabbed their butt, and it's not fair. You know.
It is not fair to hurt yourself over things that you can't control. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
definitely. It is not fair that children are put in that position to be hurt, but of course it's the people around us that need to support and help them heal. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Doug. Yeah.
You guys have a wonderful day.
You
Thanks
as well.
for talking to me.
Yes, of course.
Appreciate it. You know, just footage of the event or whatever, we can splice it all somehow. Or whatever, you know, in addition to. Yeah. That Agua Fresca truck looked really good.
Yeah, really good. Nice layout.
That's a big cord.
What is the strap on?
Huh?
What are those straps?
To tie it together. So you can pull it. You have to tug it.
Oh, when you have to go that far?
Yeah. Big sound system.
Two sound systems.
They got 2 different stages, and they got to be as far apart as they can so you don't hear one conflicting with the other one. Yeah, they can have two different bands setting up and
Is this a
play.
day-long event?
Yeah, well, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Saturday was the parade.
This was?
Yeah.
They had this all weekend.
Huh?
They've had the food trucks and everything all weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to them here.
All right.
Hi. Excuse me, can I talk to you guys for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
My name's Doug, and over the years I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who I hurt, so I kind of apologize to everybody just in case. And I grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor, and I got to, a few years ago, I got to looking at it and realize how much Churchianity was hurting people. And so I kind of chucked it and started a homeless shelter and a food pantry, trying to care, because I figured that's closer to what Jesus wanted. And I found that there's a lot of people that are mad at Jesus, but they're really mad at the pastor or the priest that grabbed their butt, and that really wasn't ever his idea. And so I kind of I wrote a letter like 20 years ago and sent it all over the internet and stuff, just telling people I was sorry for all the years I spent trying to help build a system that hurt people, and to encourage them to please not be mad at Jesus, because none of that was his idea.
Well, I'll say this. I'm a secular individual, but I have a little Jesus right here because I was raised Christian. And while I don't necessarily believe in the supernatural, I do believe in the ideals I was taught that person represents, meaning altruism, compassion, generosity, all of that, you know?
Yeah.
And so...
And, you know, even if somebody was an atheist and secular humanist or whatever, it wouldn't kill you to be nice to people, you know? And that was his whole point. So if you lived your life according to the stuff Jesus said, even if you didn't believe he was the Son of God or he was supernatural or anything, it's not so bad, you know?
That's kind of the way I see it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, churches have certainly corrupted it quite a bit and ruined a lot of the good things he said. You know? Have you ever seen Jesus Christ Superstar?
Yeah.
He's like the very first song, what is it he says, you know? All the good you've done will soon be washed away. You've begun to matter more than the things you say.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, we saw it in Starlight.
Well, I grew up in an extremely conservative church, and I, was formerly a very hateful person. And so I have tried to be more open-minded over the years, and I understand what it's like to feel hurt by a church. But also during that time I was homeless. So I really appreciate you reaching out to the homeless community. Because that's a part of my story, and it feels weird to say I was proud to be homeless, but that may be who I was.
I spent 6 months living out of my van too.
Yeah,
Me too.
And my whole family was, and I think it's a forgotten group of people. They just think that it's just people who are druggies and all of that. And sure, there are some, but that's a disease that leads down that path, and that very well would have been my family. But we had a community that helped bring us back, and now, so I really appreciate you reaching out to the homeless community. That means a lot.
We have a thrift store and a food pantry up in Excelsior Springs, and there's a coupon if you wanted to come into the thrift store. But we have a community storehouse. We have a warehouse where people donate all kinds of furniture and housewares. If your house got hit by lightning or tornado, we just completely, whatever, God bless you, free.
We donate so much stuff, and we never know of a good place to donate it. We used to donate it to a little thrift store called Pennies from Heaven. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
I think
they seemed like a really good community thrift store, but then they went out of business. We've been donating to the big corporate ones since then.
Yeah, we don't like doing that because they overprice stuff.
Where else to go after Pennies from Heaven, because they were really helpful with the local homeless community.
Here's a card. We got box truck. We can pick stuff up too. We're down in the city pretty regular, but I mean we're up past Liberty, but we mainly focus on the Northland. But we'll try and help whoever we can.
I forget where we were yesterday
Yeah.
picking up stuff.
Sorry,
And
Sky,
bringing
I'm
stuff.
gonna
If
try
people
to-
need something and they know, I can shoot them pictures. They buy it and we bring it to them and stuff. We have a box truck and volunteers.
I wrote this letter like 20 years ago as my apology, and our website's on there and our YouTube channel. Can I just leave one with you? You read it whenever, and
Sure.
if you get a chance. And
I want to say I'm sorry for those churches that were so pinched in, is what I call it. I used to wear long dresses and no makeup, and
That was
I like
me.
earrings and I like red colors and stripes and all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
So I had to step out of
hair
it.
down to here,
Yeah,
right backwards now.
it's beautiful.
we say they're in bondage.
Yeah, we sure do. And you couldn't, and I was afraid to get out of it. It's a mindset. I was afraid to get out of it because I thought I'd lose my salvation, but I wasn't being who I am.
Yeah.
And so he had to feel himself in me and
Yeah.
teach me and change me.
Yep.
I know.
So,
We've got this in bunches of languages. It's been all over the world on the internet and stuff.
Oh yeah.
We got like 3,000, so I can cross you off the list now. I'm trying to get it to everybody in the world, so
good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless you, honey.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Can I give you my letter?
Oh.
If you get a chance, thank you.
Sky wanted to know where you were. Sky, where?
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure.
My name's Doug.
Doug, I'm Megan.
Hi. Hey, over the years I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I kind of apologize to everybody just in case. And the thing is, I grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor and stuff. And a few years ago I kind of started taking a look around and realizing how much it was hurting everybody. And this Churchianity, you know, messing with little kids or throwing them out because they had purple hair or whatever. And I just want to say I'm really sorry for all the years I spent helping something that was hurting people. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, honey.
Thank you.
Can I give you one?
Yeah. Thank you, baby. Hi. You gonna hug me? All right. God bless you. What's your name?
Orion.
Orion. Nice to meet you. This is my wife, Cindy.
Hello, it's nice to meet you.
Hi.
Meet you. Thank you for the hug. Taking me too.
I didn't want to chuck the Bible because Jesus makes some sense.
He does.
And loving people and caring for them and whatever. It's just that this thing over here can't possibly have been what he designed. And so I started a homeless shelter and a food pantry, and like almost 20 years ago now, we just care for lots of folks and try to do the kind of things he'd smile about. And anyway, I wrote a letter. It's been all over the world in a bunch of different languages. If you take one home, and our website's on there and stuff too. I'm not trying to talk you into anything. I'm not trying to quit you doing anything. I'm here just to say I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, somebody's got to do it, you know, and there's just not a lot of people willing. And this is not like the first time we've ever done this. I've spent time on the sidewalk just crying for gold. I grew up in Mexico. My folks were missionaries. Every little village, there's a gold-crusted cathedral that took 200 years to build on the backs of the peasants, you know, and you know, the Vatican has trillions of assets, and that's just the one. That's just the Catholics. Never mind everybody else, and it's really, really whacked. I've written books about how bad it is. I'm banned for life from churches all over town.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. Because I asked them stuff like, did God really tell you to get a pipe organ instead of feeding the poor? They're like, you're out of here. But all my friends are ex-something or others, snaggletooth folks that would take a bullet and let me sleep on their sofa forever. And I think that's more like what Jesus would want.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, thanks for listening. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
God bless you.
Have a great
We'll see
rest
you.
of your day.
Thanks.
Happy Pride.
Hi. I'm okay. Can I apologize to you? Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I've hurt, so I kind of apologize to everybody just in case. And My dad was a pastor. I grew up in the church.
Okay.
And one day I was reading the words of Jesus, and I couldn't get them to fit with what the church looked like. And so I started a homeless shelter and a food pantry, and we've been 20 years. This is my wife, Cindy, just caring for people. And years ago, I wrote an apology, and so my only point today is to apologize to people for Churchianity and to urge them to not be mad at Jesus.
There you go.
Because none of it was his idea.
I like that.
And maybe you read it when you get a chance. Our website's on there, and Excelsior Springs.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a food pantry and a homeless shelter, and we have a big warehouse, community storehouse. You know, in Malachi, one of the most abused passages in the Bible, it's not bring your tithes to the storehouse, it's bring your meat to the storehouse, because that was the Social Security. The priest would feed the poor with the excess. So we have a warehouse, people bring sofas and beds and whatever, and if your house burns down, we'll just free it. God bless you, take whatever you need. And we can help we helped a lot of people over the years. We give away like 8 million pounds of food and stuff.
That's awesome.
So anyway, so I'm just here today apologizing to people for how the church hurt them. And
Well, I grew up being hurt in the church, so it took me
Sorry to
about
hear
10
that.
years of not going to the church before I found the Methodist
start,
church,
yeah.
Reconciling Church.
well, we can't, you know, we have a Thursday night church at our thrift store. And there's people who will not go in a steeple house anymore.
Yeah.
But they'll come to a thrift store.
Yeah, right?
And
Meet them where they're at,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, that's awesome. That's really
God
good.
bless you guys. Thank
God
you.
bless you as well.
See ya. Excuse me. Hi. Can I talk to you for just a second?
Yeah.
My name's Doug. Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people, and I don't know who all I hurt, so I apologize to everybody.
Okay.
And I spent a lot of time, my dad was a pastor, and I grew up in the church.
Yes.
And I looked around one day and I thought, you know, this is hurting a lot of people.
Yes.
And this can't really be what Jesus wanted. And so I kind of just am here today to tell people I'm sorry for all the years I spent helping build a system that hurt people. And I just want you to know I'm sorry.
Well, we grew up in that, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's not
So I
bad.
started a homeless shelter and a food pantry, and we're trying to do the kind of stuff that I think would make God smile.
That's good.
And anyway, thanks for listening.
Have a good day.
You too. Hey, could I talk to you guys for just a second?
What you got?
My name's Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I apologize to everybody just in case. My dad was a pastor. I grew up in the church, and then a few years ago, I was reading what Jesus had to say, and I realized this thing's hurting people and killing people all over the world, and I spent years helping build it. And so I just came to tell you I'm sorry for being a part of something that wasn't what he wanted, and it hurts people. And I wrote this letter, maybe you read it when you get a chance. I'm not trying to talk anybody out of anything. I'm just here to apologize. But a lot of people are mad at the church, but they're taking it out on Jesus. And even if you don't believe in anything, even if you're an atheist or secular humanist, the stuff Jesus said would probably help society. And anyway, so I just want you to know we changed, and we don't have a pipe organ. We got a food pantry and a homeless shelter, and we're trying to take care of people.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, Lord. Sorry, Lord.
What that last person said, the ones you hugged, what did they say?
They were just very sweet and said they were grateful and they were glad I was there and gave me a hug and said thank you, shook my hand. And hi, can I talk to you for just a minute? My name's Doug. Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I'm kind of apologizing to everybody. just in case. My dad was a pastor. I grew up in the church. And then a few years ago, I looked around and realized, you know, this thing's killing people and doing a lot of harm and hurting people. And anyway, so I chucked it. We started a homeless shelter and a food pantry. And I just want you to, somebody ought to come and say they're sorry for how the church has hurt people. And I just want you to know I mean it. And I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wrote a letter. It's been all over the world in different languages. I'm not trying to talk anybody out of anything. I'm just trying to say I'm sorry. And that we committed to do something different and care for the poor and take care of folks in need and stuff. But if you'd like to read the letter when you get a chance, I'd appreciate it. And our website's on there and our YouTube channel and stuff. I'm banned for life from churches all over town for asking them, like, did God really tell you to get a pipe organ instead of a homeless shelter? You know, stuff like that.
Right.
But anyway, thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you? You like a sticker?
No thanks.
No?
I just came to apologize to you.
About what?
My name's Doug, and over the years I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I apologize to everybody just in case.
No problem, you're fine.
You don't, I might have cut you off in traffic or something.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of years growing up in the church,
Okay.
and then one day I was reading the words of Jesus and looked around and realized we're not doing what he said to do, and
Love everybody.
maybe somebody ought to say they're sorry. And I wrote this letter, and it's been all over the world in different languages. Our
Okay.
website's on there. So we started a homeless shelter and a food pantry just to kind of do the stuff that would make
Guys,
Jesus
say
smile. But
Oh, you can take it if you want. Yeah, take it.
there's a lot of people that are mad at the church,
You're welcome.
and they're taking it out on Jesus. Just because they're mad at the church, they shouldn't blame Jesus. A lot of this isn't what he had in mind. So I'm trying to just go out and say I'm sorry for how church hurt people, but
It
maybe they
happens.
give Jesus another chance.
Yeah. I was horrible all my life.
Oh yeah.
So actually I just started coming to this church. Because it has, maybe church will not do intentionally, you know, but I grew up learning that stuff, and
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to accept sometimes to the people, but
I grew up in
I'm
Mexico.
trying, so.
I grew up in Mexico.
Okay.
In little villages, there's a big cathedral covered in gold that took 200 years to build on the backs of the peasants.
Yeah.
Little offerings, but no Jesus, you know, or Virgin Mary and dead Jesus. And it's just a structure, you know, it's a corporation, all of it. And so we got to try and get people to see who he is, because you're not saved by the building, you're saved by him, you know.
That's what I'm trying, more to focus on the love of God, you know, and sharing, and it's pretty more love, you know. Hey, how are you?
Thank you, man. Our website and stuff's on there too.
Okay, thank you, bye-bye.
Hey guys, can I talk to you for a second? I just want to apologize to you. Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people. I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I apologize to everybody just in case. My name's Doug, and I grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor, and I looked around one day and realized this thing's hurting people real bad. And I spent a lot of years teaching Sunday school and sitting on committees and everything else, and it wasn't what Jesus wanted. And so I just am trying to tell people I'm sorry for the years I spent helping build something that was wrong. So we started a homeless shelter and a food pantry and just trying to care for people, because there's a lot of people that are mad at Jesus, and I'm just trying to tell people this corporation that's been built that hurts people, that was never his idea.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
And I just want to tell people I'm sorry. Thank you, man. Thank you. What's your name?
Dennis.
Dennis, I'm Doug. Thank you.
Thank you for saying
Thank you, guys. Hey, I wrote a letter. It's been all over the world in different languages. And I committed, I wanted to apologize to everybody in the world. So I could cross you off the list if you take one, and maybe you read it, maybe you don't. I'm not trying to talk anybody into changing. I'm just trying to say I'm sorry.
Totally.
But
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, can I talk to you guys for a second? My name's Doug. Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I'll kind of apologize to everybody just in case. My dad was a pastor. I grew up in the church for a lot of years. And I looked around one day and realized this is hurting a lot of people. and this isn't what Jesus wanted.
Yeah.
And I just wanted you to know I'm sorry for all the years I spent building something that hurt people. And years ago, I was reading the words of Jesus about love and taking care of one another, and so we started a homeless shelter and a food pantry, and there's not very many people that are gonna come tell you that their church hurt you. So I figured I'd come and do it, and I just want you to know I'm sorry, and please don't be mad at Jesus, because it wasn't his idea. I'd appreciate you listening. If you get a chance, this is my apology, the long version.
Thank you.
I wrote like 20 years ago, and it's been different languages around the world and stuff. Our website's on there. But I appreciate you listening. Thank you.
I appreciate your
bet.
words.
You bet. Hey, can I talk to you guys for a minute? My name's Doug.
Hi, Doug.
Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I'm kind of apologizing to everybody just in case. My dad was a pastor. I grew up in the church, and a few years ago, I was reading the words of Jesus about loving and caring for people, and I realized this Churchianity thing has hurt a lot of people. And I spent a lot of years building it, and I wanted to come tell you that I'm sorry for however you might have been hurt by it, and to please not be mad at Jesus, because it wasn't his idea.
Oh my God! Stop it right now, dude.
Stop it right now.
You're more than okay.
I wrote a letter years ago. So we started a homeless shelter and a food pantry to try to turn this around.
That's amazing.
And our website's on there, and we got 3,000 videos on YouTube, and if you get a chance just to read it. I'm not trying to talk anybody out of anything,
No, you are more than
but
okay.
I want you to know not to be mad at Jesus just because the church is grabbing asses and being assholes and throwing you out for purple hair and whatever.
This means a lot to me because I have two pastors in my family. My aunt and uncle are pastors, and my mom still is accepting to this day, and I came out to her like maybe 7 years ago, and so
We had a gal a month ago, a gal that was living in the woods with her baby that was hungry and came to our food pantry, whose dad was a pastor, and put her out and wouldn't feed her, wouldn't house her, wouldn't nothing, because she came out as gay. And it's hard for me to even believe. My dad, I knew I could do anything and I could still come home and he'd love me. But it's not like that everywhere, and I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thank you so
What's
much,
your name?
Connor.
God bless you.
You're
I'm
a blessing. Thank you so much.
praying for
This
you.
means the absolute world to me.
Well, that's the whole point, you know. Nobody's saying they're sorry. You can't just treat people like crap and not say you're sorry.
It's people like you who really change the perspective on Christianity, the Baptist Church, Catholicism, Mormonism, etc., etc. And it means the absolute world to me. Because I know that deep down, God loves everyone, and God doesn't judge who you are as a person. God loves everyone because they're their own individuals, and He made everyone that way specifically. God did not pick a person to be a certain way and to fit this criteria. Yes, of course you can sin, but God wants you to be you and express yourself and love yourself endlessly. The only thing that God cares about is that you love yourself and you love Him and you worship Him. And so the fact that you are prospering Him and still being accepting and trying to pay your dues and debts, that's inspiring. It really That's absolutely.
Oh, we're all sinners, you know. There's
everyone.
Everybody
sins. No, we are. We're human.
Yeah. And the idea of ranking some worse than others. If there was a guy with a bullhorn with a God hate fag sign, I'd be next to him apologizing for that guy. You know, there's plenty of reasons why we need to say we're sorry and try to change our life around. And we're going to do this again. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You bet.
So much.
Be good.
Have a good one. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
It's the absolute world
You
to me.
too.
I'll hold on to this.
Yeah, our website's on there and whatever.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, and contact information if you want to talk anytime or just say hi or whatever. We're here for whoever. You betcha. God bless you guys. We'll see you. Thanks. Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?
Yeah.
My name's Doug.
Doug?
How are you?
I'm Kenny. Nice to meet
Kenny.
you. Yeah.
Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I'm kind of apologizing to everybody just in case.
Okay.
I spent a lot of years, my dad was a pastor, and I grew up in the church. A few years ago, I looked around and realized this thing's killing people, and this ain't right. And so I'm just kind of here today to tell people I'm sorry for all the years I invested into something that wasn't what God wanted and was hurting people.
What did you do? What can I ask what you invested in that fucking made you feel like you
Churchianity.
Yeah?
Yeah, the system.
Okay.
The corporation that isn't what Jesus meant to do at all and isn't loving and whatever. And so I kind of chucked it and started a homeless shelter and a food pantry.
Really?
And we've been taking care of people for about 20 years now. Yeah.
Nice. Listen, that's beautiful. I thank you for that. Thank you so much, man.
I mean it. I'm really sorry for however you were hurt. I wrote this letter, and our website's on there, our YouTube channel and stuff, and I'm not trying to talk anybody into converting or being different. I'm just telling you I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I ask you why you saw me?
Because Jesus said you needed an apology. That the church hurt you, and you needed to hear it.
Thank you.
Betcha. God bless you, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we got it. I appreciate you.
You bet.
You okay?
Yeah.
Keep it up,
Been
man.
doing this all day.
I appreciate you.
A lot of people here.
Thank you.
That need a lot of scar tissue, a lot of wounds.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, can I talk to you guys for a second? Yeah. My name's Doug. Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I apologize to everybody just in case. My dad was a pastor, and I grew up in the church and spent a lot of years, and one day I'm looking around, I realized this thing's killing people and hurting people, and it's not at all what it ought to be. And so I started a homeless shelter and a food pantry, and just trying to take care of people, you know. And anyway, I just came today to tell you I'm sorry if the church hurt you, and that I spent years helping build it, but we're going to turn this right around, and I'm sorry. And I hope that there be some healing and stuff, and to please not be mad at Jesus, because none of it was his idea. Yeah. Oh, sure. And I wrote a letter. I'm trying to get it to everybody in the world, so I can cross you off the list if you take one. And thank you. Our website's on there, and anyway, we've given away about 7 million pounds of food and housed lots of people, and 20 years we've been taking care of people in the Northland and Liberty and Excelsior Springs.
Oh, that's where we're at.
Yeah. But anyway, I just want to tell you I'm sorry, and thank you, and you guys have a good day.
You same.
Thank you, man. I love you.
Definitely.
Thank you, man. What's your name?
I'm Brent.
I'm Doug. Thank you.
Good
God
to
bless
meet
you. Yeah, I just want to talk to you for a second. My name's Doug. Over the years, I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not sure who all I hurt, so I'm apologizing to everybody just in case. My dad was a pastor. I grew up in the church, and then one day I'm looking around, I realized this thing's hurting people real bad, and it isn't at all what Jesus wanted. And so I'm here today to just tell you I'm sorry for all the years I spent helping build a system that isn't godly and that hurts people. And if you were wounded in any way by the church, I want you to know I'm sorry. And that you shouldn't be mad at Jesus. It wasn't his idea. I wrote this letter like 20 years ago. It's been all over the world. It's just the long version of the apology I just gave you. Okay. I'm not trying to talk people out of anything. I just want you to know I'm sorry. And anyway, I appreciate it.
I respect that.
Thank you.
Thank you.